Devas, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. May we see with our eyes what is auspicious. O ye worthy of worship, may we enjoy the term of life allotted by the Devas, praising them with our body and limbs steady. May the glorious Indra bless us. May the all-knowing Sun bless us. May Garuda, the thunderbolt for evil, bless us. May Brihaspati grant us well-being. Let there be peace in me. Let there be peace in my environment. Let there be peace in the forces that act on me. I salute that Lord Rama, who is the personification of salvation, who is a great king, who is a great man, and who destroys all his enemies. First chapter. Great sages like Mudgala, Sandilya, Pingala, Bhikshu, Sanaka, and Prahlada approached Lord Hanuman, who was a great devotee of Vishnu, and asked him, "Which is the greatest principle among the 4 Vedas, 18 Puranas, 18 Smritis, Sastras, all knowledge, and among the great powers ruled by the sun and moon?" He replied, "Hey, great sages and devotees of Lord Vishnu, please hear my words, which cut off all attachments. The greatest principle among these is the principle of Brahma Taraka. Ram is Parabrahma and supreme austerity, and Ram is the supreme essence and Brahma Taraka." They all again asked Lord Hanuman, "Please tell us the angas, the aspects of Lord Rama." Lord Hanuman said, "Please understand that Lord Ganesha, Goddess Saraswati, Goddess Durga, all the Kshetrapalakas, the sun, moon, Lord Narayana, Lord Narasimha, Lord Vasudeva, Lord Varaha, Lord Lakshmana, Satrughna, Bharata, Vibhishana, Sugriva, Angada, Jambavanta, and Pranava are the angas of Lord Rama. Without these angas, Lord Rama will not remove all roadblocks." They again ask, "How will Brahmins and householders get the capacity to recite pranava?" He said, "All people, even if they are not eligible to chant Om, who chant the 6-letter mantra would get the capacity to meditate on pranava. Those who chant silently the mantra of Rama would get the same effect as repeating the letter Om. After the name of Rishi, Devata, and meter, japa of the Rama mantra would give the same effect as repetition of pranava, and further he explained that Rama himself has said that pranava is a part of Rama mantra." On another occasion, answering Vibhishana's question, "How can your angas be made easy to worship? Please tell me an easy way." Ram replied, "The japa of my name Rama removes all sins. Suppose someone is meditating on my 6-lettered mantra, or reads my Gita, or thinks of me with devotional fervor, he would get the same effect. He would get rid of the 5 great sins, such as killing of father, killing of mother, killing of brothers, killing of teachers, killing of husband, or even other well-known great sins, if one repeats my 6-lettered mantra 10 million times. He also would get the immortal and everlasting bliss." Vibhishana again asked him, "What would be the way for people who are not capable of doing it?" Rama replied, "They can either read my Gita, my 1,000 names, or meditate on my Vishwarupa, or my 108 names, or repeat my name 100 times, or read the King of Stotras written by sage Narada, or read the great prayer called Mantra Rajastavam written by Hanuman, or read the prayer to Sita, or daily pray to me by reciting my name. They will doubtless attain me." Here ends the first chapter. Second chapter. The great sages, led by Sanaka, asked Hanuman again, "Please tell us the mantra for meditating or worshipping the Taraka Brahma Rama." Hanuman replied, "The king of mantras is the ekakshara, one-syllabled, which is the storehouse of fire, which is Lord Vishnu, who is lying down, and which is Lord Shiva, who adorned with the crescent moon. Its sage is Brahma, the meter is Gayatri, deity is Lord Rama, its anga is waxing half-moon, and its mind is the soul of fire. Its root is the Bija Shakti, and it has to be chanted for fulfillment of desires. The prayer, the dhyana sloka, for the mantra is, He who sits on the lotus flower on the shores of river Sarayu. He who is black, seated on the thrones of heroes, who shines in the Jnana Mudra that he shows, whose left side is adorned by Sita and Lakshmana. He who shines as their soul to those souls who pray to him who is like the clear crystal, who is the only source to those who wish for salvation. He who is the Paratma to those thinkers, who shines like the millions of suns, who is like Narayana residing in the Nadis, who is digestive fire. The king of mantras with 2 syllables, Rama, would lead to fulfillment of all desires, and along with suffix of 1 letter, it becomes 6 different mantras. They are Om, Rim, Shrim, Klim, Aim, and Ram. Om, Rim, Shrim, Klim, Aim, Ram. Om, Rim, Shrim, Klim, Aim, Ram. These king of mantras consisting of 3 syllables also will fulfill all desires. The 2 4-lettered mantras are Ramachandra and Ramabhadra. These can be chanted with the rishi and others as told before. Vishwamitra is its rishi, the meter is Pankti. Devata is Ramabhadra, the bija is Shakti. This mantra should be invoked mentally in the middle of the eyebrows, head, navel, thighs, and feet. One should go to the middle of the forest and sit under the Kalpavriksha, the wish-fulfilling or eternal tree, and assume the posture of Pushpalata, flowering creeper plant. Do the Anganyasa and chant the mantras. With Lakshmana having arranged properly the arrow and the Lord being fanned by Sita. Dhyana mantra. I salute that Rama, who has lustrous matted hair, who is bluish in color, who is surrounded by sages, who is being fanned by Janaki, who is protected by Lakshmana holding an umbrella. The one who killed Ravana, who is extremely peaceful, and before whom stands Sugriva and Bibhishana. For achieving victory, one should chant this sloka 10 million times. The 5-lettered mantras are formed by adding the root letters of Manmatha, Durga, Saraswati, and Lakshmi at the beginning of the 4-lettered mantra, adding Om to make it 6-syllabled and lead to the realization of the 4 Purusharthas. When each of the 50 mystic syllables of the Sanskrit alphabet, nasalized, as well as the root letters of Lakshmi, Saraswati, Manmatha, and Om, are added as the first syllable, several varieties of 6-lettered mantras are formed. Chanting the 4-letter mantras by adding the root letters of Sri, Maya, and Mamata, that is Sri, Maya, and Manmatha, as prefix and suffix of the 4 and 6-letter mantras grant all one's wishes. Adding Swaha or Hampat or Namaha at the end in various combinations make up the 18-lettered mantras. In these mantras, Brahma as Samohana, Shakti, Dakshinamurti, Agastya, and Shiva are said to be the ascetics in that order. The meter Chanda is Gayatri and the deity is Sri Ram, or Kamabija is the beginning and the Vishwamitra the Rishi. The meter Gayatri of different deities are Ramabhadra, the Devata. The Shakti Bija is invoked as before as with the 6-lettered mantra. Touching on the top of the head, in the middle between the eyebrows, heart, thighs, and feet, the mantras are recited with Bijas and Anganyasa. Dhyana. I worship Sri Rama, whose body shines with various ornaments, who is brilliant as lightning, who assumes the Virasana posture, who shows Jnana Mudra by one hand, who keeps the other hand on his thigh, and who wears the crown. Then one should, with prostration, recite Ramachandraya and Ramabhadraya Namaha, and the king of 7-lettered mantras and the fulfiller of all wishes, 8-lettered mantra, adding Om, at the beginning to the 7-lettered mantras gives rise to 2 8-lettered mantras. Om added to the 4-lettered Ramaya and Hum Phat Swaha is another 8-lettered mantra. The rishis and other adjuncts for the 8-lettered mantra are the same as for the 6-lettered ones. Again, the 8-lettered mantra also has the Rama as the rishi. The meter is Gayatri, the deity is Rama, Om, the pair of Sri Bijas and Shakti Bija and others are also added. Thereafter, one recites the mantras with the 6-limbed nyasa and recites Ramaya Namaha with Om and a pair of Sri Bijas. Shiva, Rama mantra. Glom Om Maya Bija, heart abiding. Ramaya Namaha is recited again. Shiva Om Rama mantra is the giver of all excellence. Sadashiva is spoken of as the rishi, Gayatri as the meter, and Shiva Om Ramachandra as the deity. Dhyanam. I worship that Rama who has 3 eyes, who wears the crescent, who holds the trident, who is anointed all over by ash, and who is with matted hair. I worship the 3-eyed one, who is Abhirama, the pinnacle of beauty, who wears the crescent as earring, and who holds the noose, the goad, the bow, and the arrow. Thus meditating, devoted wholly to recitation and oblations, one should chant mantras 100,000 times, offering bilva leaves, fruits, flowers, gingerly seeds, and lotuses. Rama Brahma Gayatri. Even the treasures and powers wished for by the celestials come by themselves when the 8-lettered Raghava Brahma Gayatri is chanted. The rishis, knowing Sri Bija as my Shakti, chant the mantras with the limbs as Vinayoga for its adoration. Dhyanam. I worship that blue complex Ram, who wears the bracelet on upper arm and bangle, who are studded with shining gems, who has the royal umbrella held over his head, who shines like millions of waxing moons, who sits in the hall of 1,016 golden pillars, and who is surrounded by Bharata and others. Rama Sharana Mantra. The chanting of Rama Sharanam Marna Mama. Ramam Sharanam Mama. Rama is my refuge. Ramam Sharanam Mama. Rama is my refuge. Achieves much more than many other mantras which lead with difficulty to mere ephemeral gains and productive of the misery of samsara due to the greed for the transient fruits. This mantra gives the fruits of all of them without the taint of greed and other defects. There is also the 8-lettered mantra, which is well known in 7-fold ways. It is Om added to the 7-lettered mantra. Other mantras with 4 letters, the 8-syllable mantra is chanted 7-fold ways. Om is added at the beginning and at the end of the 7-lettered mantra. The 9-lettered mantra. This 9-lettered mantra is offered like the 6-lettered one to Sita in the beginning and to the consort of Janaki at the end. 10-lettered mantra. The 10-lettered mantra gives all that is desirable, wished for fruits. The great Vashishta is the rishi of this 10-lettered mantra. The meter is Virat. The deity is Rama holding Sita's hand. The beginning bija Visarga is the Shakti with the Anganyasa for the wishes. The 10-lettered mantra is offered mentally to the head, forehead, middle of the eyebrows, palate, ears, heart, navel, thighs, knees, and feet. Dhyanam. I think of that Rama who is in the city of Ayodhya, who is decorated by various gems, who sits under a golden canopy, whose doorways are decorated by mandana flowers, who is seated on a throne surrounded by celestial vehicles, who is praised by sages with reverence, who is adorned on the left by Sita, who is being served by Lakshmana, who is blue complexed, who has a tranquil face, and who is adorned by ornaments. This mantra should be recited 100,000 times with a exclusive devotion. The form of Ram holding the bow in his hands with Sita within Brahma is the rishi of the 10-lettered mantra. The meter is Virat. The deity is Ram, the slayer of demons. The rest of the worship is similar to the previous one. One should remember Ram holding the bow and arrow. 11-lettered mantra. With the 6-fold addition of Om Maya Rama Kama Vakka Swaha Bijas and recite the 10-lettered mantra for Rudra. The remainder ritual is the same as for the 6-lettered mantra as regards Nyasa and Dhyana according to the wise. Of the 12-lettered mantra, Sri Rama is the rishi. The meter is Jagati and Sri Rama the deity. The Pranava is said to be the Bija, Klim is Shakti, and Rim is Kilaka. Reciting the mantras with the Anganyasa, the rest is performed as previously. Also to be added are Om, Klim, and also Bharata Graja. 12-lettered mantra. This 12-letter mantra ends with Rama, Klima, and Swaha. Om Rida Bhavagate Ramachandra Bhadraya. As before, the Rishi and Dhyana and Arna meter 12 feet or 12 Suryas, Jagati meter, and the mantras with Anganyasa. Reciting the name Sri Rama and Jai Rama thereafter, the wise one says Jai Jai twice. Ram who sheds joy on the mind. 13-lettered mantra. The 13th-letter mantra has the same rishi and other adjuncts as before, the fulfiller of all wishes, repeating the phrase twice with the angas and dhyanas as before. 14th-lettered mantra. When Om is added, the mantra is 14-lettered. After chanting the 13th-lettered, one adds the name Rama. The 15th-lettered mantra. This is the 15th-lettered wish-fulfilling tree. Kalpa Puruha. Add Namaha to Sita Pataye Ramaya Hana Hana. 16th-lettered mantra. Thereafter, the 16th letter ends with the Kavacha and Ashtra. Of this, Agastya is the Rishi, Brihati is the meter, and Rama is the deity. Ram is the Bija, Astra is Shakti, and Ham, the Kilaka. The 10-15-lettered mantra are offered in sequence with the Anganyasa. 17th-lettered mantra. Adding Om, the mantra is 17-lettered. Om Namo Bhagavate Rama. At the end, thereafter. 18th-lettered mantra. Adding Purushaya at the end gives the 18th-lettered mantra with Vishwamitra as the Rishi and Gayatri meter and the deity as Rama. 19th-lettered mantra. With the Kama Bija, the mantra is 19th-lettered. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramaya is to be recited. 20-lettered mantra. After uttering all the mantras, one asks for all auspiciousness. When Swaha is added, the mantra is 20-lettered. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramaya is to be recited, then Swaha for protection from dangers. 21-lettered mantra. The 21-lettered mantra fulfills all one's wishes. Om Rama Swabija Dasarataya thereafter. 22-lettered mantra. Then one chants the all auspicious Sita Vallabhaya to Sita as consort, then this 22-lettered mantra. 23-lettered mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Viramaya is chanted. Then softly, Hana Hana Swaha is recited. The 23-lettered mantra. The 23-lettered mantra is the slayer of all enemies. Vishwamitra is the Rishi and Gayatri is the meter. The deity is Virarama. Bijas and other adjuncts are as before. The wise one, after doing the Anganyasa of the Mula mantra in parts, silently meditates on Rama, who has put the arrow on the bow and facing Ravana, is holding the thunderbolt in his hand and has ascended the chariot. One recites Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramaya, and having said Om Brahmane, adds the word Mam Taraya, protect me. 24-lettered mantra. With Nama Om added, the mantra is 24-lettered. The bija is and other adjuncts are as before. Klim Om and Namaha and Bhagavate Ramachandraya. Thereafter, one says the word all. 25-lettered mantra. Janavash Karaya, conquering people. Swaha and Klim are to be recited mentally. The 25-lettered mantra is to include Sarvavashyakara, conquering all. 26 and 27-lettered mantra. With Om added at the beginning, the mantra has 26 letters. Adding Om at the end makes it 27-lettered. Om Namo Bhagavate Raksha Gona Vishadaya. Obedience to Bhagavan, slayer of demons. Sarva Vigata Nivaraya. Protect from all obstacle. To be repeated twice. Om Namo Bhagavate Raksha Gona Vishadaya. Sarva Vigata Nivaraya. 28 and 29-lettered mantras. Adding Swaha at the end makes this king of mantras 28-lettered. When joined with Om, it becomes 29-lettered. 30 and 31-lettered mantra, beginning with Swa Bija, is the 30-lettered. With Om at the end, it has 31 letters. O Ramabhadra, the great archer, O Raghuvira, the best of kings and slayer of Ravana, grant me wealth. The Rishi is Rama, meter is Anustubh. Rama Bija, Yama Shakti are recited for the Ishtad deity. Nyasa of mantra is done in the heart, on the head, with the 5-lettered on the sika, and of the 3-lettered kavacha. For the eyes, with the 5-lettered mantra called the astra, holding the bow and arrow, blue complexion, accompanied by Sugriva and Vibhashana. After slaying Ravana, coming for the protection of the 3 worlds, meditating on Rama in heart, one chants the mantra mentally 1,000,000 times. Then one utters the Rama Gayatri given by Dasaratya Vidvamahe, followed by the Sita Vallabhaya Dhimahi, Tanno Rama Prachodayat. May we know the son of Dasharatha. We meditate on Sita's consort. May Rama enlighten our intellect. For enchanting the earth and attend expertise in love, add Mandana, Cupid, to the Sri Rama along with the Bija of Maya. With 15-lettered and 12-lettered mantras, and also for the 16-lettered mantra, one has to perform Anganyasa. While chanting the Bija meditation, for these, the same sequence as for the 6-lettered mantra has to be adorned. Om Namo Bhagavate Raghunandayanaya. Likewise, thereafter one recites to Rakshogno Shada and Madhura, sweet, Parasannavadam, Vadanam, Prasannavadanam, tranquil faced, Amita Tejesiyo, to one of the immeasurable brightness. Thereafter say Namaha, obeisance to Balarama and Vishnu, and recite mentally the 47 letters. Rishi is Brahma, meter is understood, and deity is Raghava, 7 times 17, with 6 rudras and the 6 limbs. While meditating on the 10-lettered mantra, one chants it 100,000 times. It starts with Sri Yama Sita, followed by the 6-lettered mantra and ending with Swaha. The rishi of this mantra is Janaka, meter is Gayatri, deity is Sita Bhagavati, Shrim is Bija, and Namaha is the Shakti. Sita is Kilaka. Viniyoga is done for the Ishta. Reciting with prolonged accents at the beginning, the 6-limb nyasa is done. One should meditate on Rama at the center of the hexagon yantra, thinking in the mind him with his body shining like gold, holding a lotus, and then look at Ram as the final refuge. For the Lakshmana mantra, utter the sound Lam and bow to Lakshmana. For this mantra, Agastya is the rishi, meter is Gayatri. Deity is Lakshmana. Lam is the bija and Shakti is Namaha. The 4 Purusharthas are the Viniyoga. Long ending sound with Ram as the bija is recited with the 6-limbed nyasa. Ram with 2 arms, personifying his body as of golden hue and resembling a lotus. For the Bharata mantra, he, holding the bow and arrow, wholly devoted to Rama as the supreme one, should utter the sound Bha and bow to Bharata. Rishi is Agastya. Rest is done as before to Bharata, the blue-hued one who is tranquil and serving Rama wholeheartedly. For the mantra of Shatrugana, recite, I worship Kaikeyi's brave son. I worship Kaikeyi's brave son, holding the bow and arrow. Utter the Bija Shama and ending with Shatruganaya Namaha. The rishis and other adjuncts as before, and the Viniyoga for the control over enemies. 2 armed, golden bright, devoted to the service of Ram, slayer of Lavanasura, I worship the son of Sumitra. The mantra of Hanuman, Rum Hanumate, is the king of mantras, of which Ramachandra is the rishi, and the other rituals to be done as previously. One should meditate on the 2-armed one who is shining like gold, who is devoted to Rama's service, wearing the girdle of Munjat grass, and is the servant of Rama. Thus ends the 2nd chapter of Rama Rahasya Upanishad. 3rd chapter. Sanaka and other ascetics asked Hanuman, O mighty son of Anjana, tell us about the altar yantra for the worship by the aforesaid mantras. Hanuman replied, to begin with, the altar is 6-sided hexagonal, and in the center is written the seed letter, the Bijashara of Rama, with Shrim. Below that, in the 2nd corner, is the Sadhya, food offering. Above it, on the 6th corner, is the Sadakam, constant devotion. On the surrounding sides are the seed letters Jiva Prana Shakti. Encircling all these is Om. In the southeast, northeast, northwest, and southwest, on the front corners are kept the cooked rice. Then sequentially, the heart mantra is Rama Rima Ruma Rima Roma Ra Bija Akshara is the heart. Ashtra mantras are to be recited. The heart mantra. Rama Rima Ruma Rima Roma Ra. Behind the corners are the bija akshara of Rama and Maya. On the corners, Varaham Ham. Over this is the Kama bija, Rama, and surrounding it is the Vak Klim. Thereafter are 3 circles of 8 leaves. On the leaves, garlands of syllables in 8 group of 6-lettered mantras are inscribed, ending with 5-lettered mantra. On the face of each leaf, the 8-lettered mantras, again the 8-petaled lotus. On the petals, the 8-lettered Narayana mantra, Om Namo Narayana. On the face of each petal, Shri Bija, then the first round. Then the 12-petaled, of them the 12-lettered Vasudeva mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, as well as their fronts in all directions in a circular manner. On the petals, Hampat with the 12-lettered Rama mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya. On the front of the petal, Maya Bija, Klim. On the front of each in 2 circles, Ram Sram Bram Bram Ramam Srum Zram. Then in a circle, thereafter the 32-petaled. On them, the king of mantras, Nirsimha Anushtupa. On the front of these, the 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, 12 Aditya mantras along with Om and Namo in sequence in dative case. Outside and surrounding is Vashat. Then the Pupura of 3 lines, in 12 directions, adorned with the rashis, the zodiac signs. Adding there are 8 Nagas, serpents. In the 4 directions, the Narasimha Bija. In the intermediate directions, the Baraha Bija. This all-encompassing yantra fulfills all wishes and grants liberation. Beginning with the 1-lettered and ending with the 9-lettered mantras, this is the yantra and the 10th becomes the avarana covering for it. One should worship Raghava with Anganyasa in the center of the hexagon. In the first round, the Anganyasa is done at all the corners. At the root of the 8 petals, the initial cover of oneself, then the covering by Vasudeva and others. At the base of the second 8 petals, the cow covering. Then covers of Hanuman and other. For the 12-petaled, the Vasishta covering. For the 16-petaled, the blue lotus covering. For the 32-petaled, Dhruva covering. In the Pupura, Indrakrav covering. Outside this is the Vajra covering, offering thus one should silently chant. Now, the altar is described for the mantra starting with 10 syllables and ending with 32 syllables. First, the hexagon. In its center, the name of the Ishta, thus surrounded by Kama Bija. The remaining 9 surround this. At the 6 corners, the 6-fold Anganyasa in the front and back of the intermediate directions, the southeast, northeast, northwest, and the southwest. On the face, the Sri Maya Bija. In the corners, Krodha. Then the first round. Then the 8 petals on the petals, garlands of syllables in multiples of 6 in a circular manner surrounding this in all directions. Outside this, the Pupura with 8 spear points. In all directions, Narasimha and Varaha. This is the great yantra. Adhara Shakti, the basic power, is the seat of Vishnu's worship. The first round is of Anganyasa. In the center, Rama. On the left, Sita. On the front, the bow and arrow. At the base of the 8 petals, 2 avaranas of Hanuman. The 3rd avarana of cow, 4th of Indra, 5th of Vajra. Thus, worshipping the yantra with devotion, one should recite the 10-lettered and other mantras. Thus ends the 3rd chapter of Rama Rahasya Upanishad. 4th chapter. Sanaka and other ascetics ask Hanuman, describe the ritual for recitation of Rama mantras. Hanuman replied, the one who intends to recite this mantra should follow the following procedures. He should bathe thrice a day. He should take only sattvic foods like milk, roots, fruits of Naivadya, rice pudding offered to the god. He should follow the prescribed karmas of the stage of his life, brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, or sannyasi. He should give up the 6 negative emotions like anger, jealousy. He should observe purity and practice dispassionate speech. He should also observe dispassionate action and show respect to all women. He should observe celibacy and sleep on the bare ground. He should not have any desires. He should be devoted to his teacher. He should scrupulously observe bathing, worship, recitation, meditation, and oblation to the fire. He should meditate with utmost concentration on Ram as instructed by his teacher. He should invoke the sun, moon, teacher, lamp, cow, Brahmin. The ascetic doing this japa should sit on a tiger skin and adopt postures prescribed like the swastikasana in rotating sequence. He should seat himself below plants like tulasi or trees like parijata, bilwa. he should count using a rosary whose beads are either made of tulsi plant or use rudraksha. The counting should be done mentally using the beads and should be 100,000 times at the altar of Mahavishnu. Tarpana should be offered after every 10 total count. After 10 counts, offer rice pudding, pour over it clarified butter made from cow's milk, and eat what remains after the next 10th portion. After this, along with chanting, flowers have to be offered along with the chanting of Mula Mantra. The ascetic who does this japa becomes liberated in life, and the supernatural powers follow him like a bride follows her groom. This Rama mantra is not only a means to liberation, but if you remember me, who am Rama's servant, it will ensure success in these worldly affairs too. To the one who forever remembers Rama with total devotion as the final refuge of the mind, I am empowered to fulfill all their chosen wishes. Towards the task of fulfillment of the wishes of the devotees of Rama, I, as an expert in carrying out Rama's commands, am always wholly alert. Thus ends the 4th chapter of Rama Rahasya Upanishad. 5th chapter, conclusion. Sanaka and other ascetics asked Hanuman, "Tell us the meaning of Sri Rama mantra." Hanuman replied, "Among the Rama mantras, the 6-lettered is the king among them all, though, as mentioned earlier, they exist as 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 syllables, or even 6 or 7 or 8, or even as many more syllables. Lord Shiva knows in essence the glory of the 6 syllables mantra. Sri Rama Sharanam Mama." The true meaning of the king among the Rama mantras, as well as the 8-lettered Narayana and 5-lettered Shiva mantras, is spoken as thus: where yogis reveal in the 2-syllable mantra Rama, where the Ra syllable denotes the fire wherein abides illumination. Its nature as existence, consciousness, bliss is regarded as the supreme meaning, the consonant denoting the unchanging Brahman, and the syllable the energy of manifestation. Know that consonants joined to syllables are used in breathing the sound Ra. Of the nature of light is therefore used in action. The sound Ma is known as Maya, indicating prosperity, being itself the seed letter, Bijashara, is also equal to Brahman itself. With the Bindu Anusvara, the Purusha takes on the form of Shiva Sun Moon, the flame as the crest, and the sound as the Prakriti. Both Purusha and Prakriti jointly are considered as Brahman. The Bindu, sound, and the indwelling seed letter as fire and digits of the moon. Fire and Om, by their very nature, abide in the seed syllables of Ram, just as the great tree in the mundane life is contained in its seed. Similarly, in the seed syllables Rama is contained this wholly moving and unmoving world. The name Rama is thus regarded as the seed with both these meanings. When freed of the Maya seed, Klim, the Supreme Spirit is said to exist alone. This grants liberation to aspirants, and the Ma sound is regarded as the liberator. Formless Ma in Rama is the grantor of enjoyment and liberation. The first letter Ra stands for term Tat, that, and Ma stands for the term Vam, you. The wise knower of truth declare that the confluence of the above 2 terms end in the meaning Asi, are. The word Namaha has the meaning of Tvam, you, and Tat is denoted by the word Rama. When used in dating case Ramaya, and the meaning Asi, are, is indicated in the mantra, wherefore the sentence Tattvamasi grants the unitive salvation. Therefore, this mantra, giver of enjoyment and liberation, surpasses the aforesaid sentence Tattvamasi. All embodied human beings are qualified for this mantra. For those desiring liberation, the dispassionate ones, as well as householders and in all stages of life, constant meditation of Om, and especially for ascetics, is enjoined, for the knower of the meaning of Rama mantra doubtless becomes liberated while alive. One who studies the Upanishad becomes sanctified by fire, purified by air, is freed from the sin of consuming intoxicants, or of theft or gold, or of the slaying of a Brahman. One who recites the Rama mantra repeatedly merges in Ramachandra himself. Therefore, this sacred hymn, those who ever say, I am Rama in essence, will not feel any want in this life, and without a doubt is Rama himself. This is the truth. This is the Upanishad. O Devas, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. May we see with our eyes what is auspicious. O ye worthy of worship, may we enjoy the term of life allotted by the Devas, praising them with our body and limbs steady. May the glorious Indra bless us, may the all-knowing Sun bless us. May Garuda the thunderbolt for evil bless us, may Brihaspati grant us well-being. Let there be peace in me. Let there be peace in my environment. Let there be peace in the forces that act on me. Here ends the Rama Rahasya Upanishad as contained in the Atharvaveda.